You know, I've been kind of happy with the way everything going. I don't know if I told you all about Lord of the Rings. That's what I'm professing. Is Lord Enki. Soon I'm gonna change my name too. It's not gonna stay Lord Enki. It's only while I go through his chakras, his lesson. I'm still learning. Right now, I'm learning how to be a genesis scientist. As you can see in the clouds, it's coming out. You see the opening in the mouth behind me with the eyes. It's forever gonna be with me. Watch the clouds behind me. You see the rings, the spirits. It's all everything that I do in my meditation. You would consider my meditation written out of society, the thing they ban. It's what put me into where I had to go on a mission to find myself and my soul, my soul. And so that's what set me on this journey. It's a spiritual journey. As you can see, where the black is in the cloud is the opening of the mouth. That's where the mouth is. Now, in searching for my soul, I found out that it was some African secret knowledge, or our true African spirituality was taken out of society, and like they didn't hold the people captive, they murdered them. And so looking for it, you chase down this the Kundalini, baby. It has something to do with the Kundalini. These people call the Magi, the Chaldeans or whatever, and they are the Afris. And all out of West Africa have these special magical, mystical gifts or genetics. Well, anyway, Akhenaten was the one that brought it to us. I'm gonna call him Akhenaten most, because he is the one that took us all out of motherfucking Egypt. At the time, they was doing in the root chakra, that stage of life, that epoch. Look at every dynasty is different epochs, different frequencies. They're not bad. Nobody's ever bad. No, nothing is bad. You just don't understand what we're going through to get to where we're going. So it's like you're judging things before it actually accomplishes its goal. So now, every epoch we went through, Akhenaten is the one that brought this back. And now this is heresy. You see, he came and tried to give us a one God concept. With this one God concept, everybody now was going to take all their African deities and put them all together and be one system, us under God, what we call the Kabbalah, or just what we have today as God and his angels. It wasn't like that back then. Everybody was worshiping different chakra gods, and everybody wanted to keep their own chakra god. But it was all wrong. There was only one supreme, and everybody needed the supreme. That's where the 810 come from. So the 810 was supposed to have been the same as saying God that we do now. And it's the proper concept because it's the one, and then everybody else trickled down, and you would have known the different dimensions, all the different beings that inhabit the different dimensions. Right now, we just know Ocean, and this is African, this is Oisha, this is Ifa. We don't know anything about ascension, their perspective and their hierarchy in the system, where they at, where they're helping you from, what zone are you in, what mental state are you in, what perception are you seeing from. All of these is important in understanding these gods and deities, and that's what the ancients knew, and that's why they didn't worship other gods. But like I said, Akhenaten came to change that. All right, a little information about that draconian history real quick. But now, let's get into, this Enki thing that I was telling you about. He's Lord of the Rings, and that's his lessons he's here to teach me. There you go. Shout out to him behind me with the one eye showing, looking like the bull. You understand? Anyway, we do this all day. I come out here and record. They're going to be messing with me now all the time if you see these faces. But I still got to get the message across, because that's what they try to be sometimes, distractions. So anyways, now, it's like my meditation changed to the rings. When I go into it now, it's not the same like how I just close my eyes and I tell you I'll sink down into the darkness and I'm in deep space floating, feel like my body's in a state of kinesthesia, hello, and I'm floating within my body. It's just like a surreal experience. I could thrust forward, I could thrust backward. Recently, I learned how to even pan and tilt different direction. It's so funny, we think we're doing something in the astral world, but it's like we're not actually in control. It's beings holding us. We got guidance spirits that taking us, holding us by our neck, biting on our heads or our shoulders, or mostly one is on each side of you, carrying you around, and you're unconscious of it. And so once you become able to fly a little and understand, they start to let go and let you do you a little bit, saying they still there as a trampoline or a safety device, but until you're able to navigate good, not touching no walls, not going through anything, moving as you wish, then they ain't gonna free you. But learning to do it is complicated beyond imagination. For me, it's instincts that's built in you already, that if you had it as a child and you do it unconsciously when you go to sleep, but for you to make the connection between the two is the hardest part and the hardest thing to do, because we equate everything in our reality to something we've seen on TV, read, so we have expectations. And with that in mind, we're not ready to be ourselves, to meet ourselves, because it just requires you to humbly don't say nothing more than be there. And you will see instinctively you're going to do things without even knowing you could do it or you had the ability to do it. It's like I give you a UFO and tell you go fly it. You be like, how the fuck I fly it? And I take you and throw you in that shit and throw you into space. You're like, yo, what the fuck? And you just automatically out of fear start flying that shit. That's how it works. You have to have fear. Fear is an instinct activator. It activates certain instincts in your reptilian brain. And with that, you have also cellular memory that comes in and it takes over automatically. It's like throwing a baby into water at first born. It's going to not drown. It's going to swim. It could hold its breath forever. It was already in fluid. It's used to it. You understand? So now, with that in mind, so now I'm in the astral and I'm floating in my body. It's like a face comes, a big face come right in front of mine. It's the dragon. I used to call it the dragon because it started as an indigo, infrared like spectrum, like a net, a fish net type thing, floating in the background like a dot that just comes and it get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was doing it for a while and it became the cave that I tell you I go through. Then I realized I'm going through somebody's fucking eye. It was the eye of the dragon. But you see, the dragon was just one frequency of it. As I got more into it, it turned into the face of a man. Then it turned into the face of an old man. So I'm going to a big face. I'm just in front of a big ass, scary face. Ever soon as I close my eyes, it comes to me. But out of it breaks into a mesh. Now a mesh body comes out of it, a whole body, and he walks out and he directs me out of it. So I'm looking at him. Now, when he does that, I look in his eyes, and I go through his eyes. I'm gone. And once I go in there now, it's like I'm in a mixture, or you could say cerebral, with Professor X. But I'm in motion. I'm not standing still. I'm moving at a very fast speed. But for me, it's slow because I could understand everything subtly. And now I pick up speed as I'm going through it, with lions and other animals start attaching to me. But now it seems like it's different now because I was taught to do a certain reaction, a certain motion and an emotion inside myself. And in doing it, all of a sudden rings start to appear, the cell. And this is ironic how the cell pops up, because I'm also watching video on, like, you know, the moon, and people saying how it's not really where it's at and all this other stuff. And then there's this one guy trying to prove the dome, and he actually saw a rocket go up and hit the dome. As the rocket hit the dome now, it turns into like a ripple. This ripple formed the ring, the same ring I traveled through, the cell. I got it in my videos. When I put out the videos on my genetic activation, activating your own genes, you're gonna see cells. You're not gonna see, me just doing something. You're gonna be looking at cells, and so you will see that same cell. And I'm gonna show you also when the rocket crashes into the dome, and I'm gonna pause it for you and show you actually the same cell to show you we live in these rings that you can't see. I also do it again with light, Hold on. Yeah, so these cells now, these is everywhere. They're in light. We live in light. So it's like what the Egyptians is trying to show us when they look into one ray of light. That's what you have to do with a certain move. It would be equivalent to like Sue putting the force field around her. She put the cell around her. So everything is cell. So my meditation now, once I get in there and I start burrowing through the tunnel or in the cave and I'm picking up speed, I now assume the cell. And the cell make it like I can't touch the walls or bump into anything. It just put me like a force field around it, and now I focus in the center of the cell, and I'm penetrating, like I'm inverting myself inwards. The more I invert, it's like different dimensions is open, but I could break the cell by just not concentrating on the cell or losing focus. So it's like the past week, first of all, let me tell you, yo, when I learned that cell thing, the whole astral world changed for me. I am flying through so many subworlds and rings that's in rings and rings and rings that I'm like, yo, all right, I meditated for 4 hours straight. And it was nothing. It was the most incrediblest thing. Then, like yesterday meditation, I did 6 hours straight. How you gonna meditate that long? No, I'm going to a whole new video game. My meditation be like an hour, maybe 2 hours, because I'm doing actual genetic work. And like when the angels start doing the genetic cells, connecting them in your eyes, you will automatically can't break for the next hour, 45 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it is to finish it. It's not gonna stop. It's just like your dream. If you're dreaming in the astral form, you will pick up right where you left off if it's an astral dream and not a mental projection. And so it's like that. They'll keep picking up where they left off with activating your cell, and then it'll take maybe a year before they do it, because you don't assume that one position or emotion or whatever it is it takes to activate it. So I have to stay in these positions for the whole time. So that's just for cell activation, and I'll do it, but I hate it. It's very painful. Anything I do in meditation now, that's why I don't teach meditation like outwardly and tell people, because I call it heresy still, because it's about activating DNA. These guys ain't playing with me. So it's not like I'm doing a meditation. Nah, I'm taking cells over here, pulling neurons over there, putting this over there. It's work. I have to stand up in the tall position. Sometimes I have to have my hands with the dragon. Sometimes I have to have it with the dog, and I put the dog to kiss the dragon, and then I'll wrap it like the snake, and I have to take my beads and put it across my, put it like that. It's work. And this work is what's called heresy. They know what I'm doing. They know what I'm talking about if they've studied the ancient past. I'm with the gods, and these is the primordial beings teaching somebody the lessons that we believe is fantasy, mythology. I'm with these gods, and I see them, and they teaching me the stuff that have actual influence on people. Look, I don't usually do this, but I've been trying to see how could I get the message across what I'm trying to say. So let me see. I got some voice conversations. Sometimes I got to keep a library for University of Conscious Science, because it's all conscious research. And so I try to keep everything, data tracked. Everything is recorded and filed for paranormal reasons. If it's a paranormal situation, it's going to be archived so that it can be said it was proven and it was actually true. So I got plenty of paranormal videos, stuff that's not actually real. I'm going to start off with this one. Let me see if you can hear this.
Just tell what happened when you walked up the steps that you saw. So
just listen.
Why? Yeah, man, I tell a man he fight me, man. I say, me just come. And I say, I can check for you, see if you're good. And I just go boom, boom, on the step. Take a 3 stairs. 4th step. And because I look around, so boom. I say, before me even see the man, me and the man here make 4, For me and him here make 4 before me see him.
You say eye to eye or eyeballing you?
Yeah, man, just come like say, yo, me know say he did it. As me tell you, say, yo, he come like a him, call me. Say, yo, come up and say, come look here.
Wow.
And me go and me say, me don't see no part of him, but in eye. And when me done eye to eye, me see overall body feature. That black man. And black. Just like, I'm going to say now. So he warrior them dressed up in a Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, but film thing more natural. You see me I say, cause you can say that Black Panther them are more advanced thing.
Special.
Dressing and this, original ancestor me I tell you about. I don't even know if I touch brief or what kind of brief it be. But I like clothes they man have on, like only clothes that he have on.
Wow.
Like I want touch brief. And he turn up with his staff in the hand, he rod in the hand. Back turn to the door for your veranda. Facing the staircase. Where you will go up and come down. So
You see, I'm protected. And I'm not saying I'm protected because I'm protected. Somebody else is telling me.
Just jump back up fast, man. Yo, Virgin.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, man, did it, man. I tell you, say, we just did it. I can't see it, say. I guard him, I protect him, I protect him. You see me? I gate him, I guard. Yeah, man, I'm a gatekeeper.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.